Picture one room, layered rugs, patterned wallpaper, art on every wall, velvet on the chairs. Now put two people in it. The first one settles the moment she crosses the threshold. All that pattern feels like being wrapped in something. The second person stands in the exact same room and just can't rest. Too much for the eye, too much for the skin, nowhere to land. Same room, two bodies, two completely different answers. And neither of them is wrong. Design advice hands you a style. This video is about the dose. I'm Asha Zaltunil, founder of Arizen Interiors, and this is Somatic Design. Pattern and texture get used like they're the same thing. They're not. Pattern is what the eye travels, a repeat, a motif, a rhythm you follow across a surface. Texture is what the skin reads. Even from across the room, your body can tell whether a surface is smooth, woven, or rough, because your hands have touched 1,000 surfaces and your eyes learned from them. A room can have one without the other. In Lisbon, I stood in front of the wall's painted blue and white tile, the azulejo. Portugal is known for it. It's beautiful, it's full of pattern, and completely smooth. All eye, nothing for the skin. That's not a flaw, it's just half the equation. A room that's all pattern and no texture keeps the eye busy, but it leaves the body empty-handed. A room that's all texture and no pattern gives the skin plenty, but the eye has no path to follow. Your body wants both in its own amounts. Here's how I learned where my own line sits. I came home from Europe this summer. My mom had been watching over the ranch and the house while we were gone, and she'd cleaned the whole place, which thank you, Mom. And she decided to add a few touches of decor here and there. She calls herself a maximalist, and she means it. She thrifts beautifully. There was a wool runner in my entryway. My bathroom, which was bare for 2 years because I keep telling myself I'm about to remodel it, had personal touches everywhere. And here's the thing, it was lovely. She has a real eye, but it's not that I need a clean wall. I just need a little negative space. Not every surface in my house has to have something adorning it. I want certain pieces to breathe. Not long ago, I found this gorgeous living room rug on Marketplace, and it anchors the main space. It's the piece. And now across from it, behind my sofa, there was this runner from the entryway. I left it down for a few days just to feel it out, and every time I looked over, it was competing with the main rug, pulling at it. It was taking something from it. So it needed to go. She likes abundance. Walls that are full, surfaces that are dressed. I like a little breath around the things that I love. Two people who love each other, reading the same rooms completely differently. Neither of us is wrong. We just run on different doses. So here's the principle, and it's the one thing I want you to take from this video. Even if you stop watching right here, pattern and texture work like seasoning. Too little and a room goes flat. Smooth surfaces, matched sets, nothing for the eye to travel or the skin to read. Your senses are starving. You'll feel it as a room that's cold, even when it's warm. Too much, and the room crowds you. Every surface is talking at once. There's nowhere for the eye to land and be done. And the line between those two is not in a design book. It's in you. Some bodies are fed by a wall covered in art. Some bodies need one beautiful piece on an empty wall, and the emptiness is part of the piece. Same principle, wildly different amounts. Somatic design starts exactly here. A room isn't decorated to a style, it's dosed to a body, to yours. So my personal style, my personal taste, the way I like to adorn my home is piece by piece. And I definitely like to sit with it. You know, if I get a new rug, I lay it down, I pair it with the table, I pair it with a chair. I see how it works together or doesn't. I feel it out. I let my eyes run across it. I let my feet walk on it. I let the texture, the pattern, everything kind of work with me, right? And or not, and or it doesn't work with me. I've definitely had moments where I thought I loved something and, you know, I get it into my space and it just doesn't quite work. And sometimes you can have an idea of what you want in your mind, or you can have an idea of what you think would look great. But until it's actually in the room, you really don't know sometimes. It has to It has to go with the, the flooring, the wall color, the cabinetry, the lighting. There's so many different factors that once you get it into place, you have to play with it. So before I ever dressed a room, I dressed myself. My body was my primary canvas for most of my life. Playing with fabrics, textures, prints, layering pieces until the whole picture held together. Dressing yourself is the microcosm. Dressing your home is the macrocosm. The same instinct at full scale. It's the further extension of you. And your closet already holds your calibration, so to speak. Some people build an outfit from layers, small details, mixed textures, pieces collected over years, everything in conversation with everything. Some people run the other way. One well-cut piece in a single color, a very clean silhouette, a single ring, where the restraint is the statement. Both are complete, both are calibrated. If you already know how much is you when you get dressed in the morning, you know more about your rooms than you think you do. So when I was younger, I liked playing. I've always loved playing with patterns, upholstery, fabric, textures. Give me silk, give me velvet, give me, certain kind of satins, give me cotton, give me all different kinds of things. And just based on the fabrics alone, I could put those together, right? And just try to make it cohesive. For me, like matching has always been a thing. As much as I like things to mismatch sometimes, even when they're mismatched, they're matching. And I think you might know what I mean. Like, you put something together, you've got a top that's looking great with your bottom, but then you throw this random piece of jewelry accessory and it doesn't really quite match, but at the same time, it pulls together the entire outfit, something like that. And that's kind of, throughout my life, when I lived in Bali for a while, I had a clothing line that I did batik and I did ikat, and I worked with all these different fabrics and colors and materials and silks. And it was amazing. It was just so fun to play with texture and pattern and combine it and to put it on a body and then to take it to a bigger scale and put it in a home. When I was in Mallorca recently, I also discovered that they have a kind of ikat there that they do as well, which is very similar to Bali, which I loved. And it's like an old tradition that they've kind of woven out of cotton. Very beautiful. It's like everywhere I go in the world, I'm always drawn to just textures, patterns, upholstery, beautiful hand woven rugs and all kinds of things like that. I also love leather, and I was traveling a long time ago and I bought a computer, on my travels, but I needed a case for it. So I was in Thailand at the time, and I've always loved tooled leather. And so I found this guy he had a shop. He didn't necessarily offer classes, but he had a shop with all these beautiful tooled leather pieces. And I walked by it one evening and he was sitting in there just working on, a project of his. And I was fascinated because I had always seen tooled leather, but I actually never really saw or understood how it was made. So I asked him if he would be open to teaching me how to make a leather case for my computer, for my laptop. And so he was like, yeah. So for the next, I think, several days, maybe it took like 4 days, I went over to his shop and I probably spent like 4 hours a day sitting in his shop, learning how to tool leather, using all these different little tools that I had never used. And let me tell you, it's definitely a skill that you have to develop over time. My lines were very sloppy, like the technique, I just didn't have it down. So he definitely, when it was done, when I kind of laid out the design that I wanted, he kind of helped me clean it up a little bit, because otherwise it wouldn't have looked nearly as nice as the end product. But it was just another example of me just like being attracted to something that has pattern and texture and layers, like that you can actually touch and feel and your eyes have somewhere to travel. It was a perfect example of all of those things in one. So how do you find your dose? Not by picking a style, by running the experiment. Add one layer, and live with it. A rug with real weave under your feet, a throw with some weight, a plant, which is texture that happens to be alive, fabric that changes with the light, silk, velvet, anything with sheen, because a surface that shifts through the day gives the eye something new without adding a single object. Or one piece with patina, the software that time leaves on brass, on copper, on leather, patterns drawn by time and by nature. They land differently than printed repeats. Think of stone grooved slowly by water, or the veins of a leaf. We've been reading those patterns our whole lives, long before anyone printed one. The eye knows the real thing when it sees it. Then live with it for a week and listen. Did the room get warmer or louder? If warmer, maybe another layer. If louder, take it back out. Subtraction is the same experiment run in reverse. That's exactly what the runner taught me. Remove one thing and see if the room exhales. One layer at a time, in both directions, until the room sits right on your skin. Because that's really the whole shift. The question is not whether maximalism is in or minimalism is in. Styles rotate. Your dose doesn't. It's yours. It's stable. And once you know it, every room you make starts feeding you instead of just photographing well. So for me, in my home and just in my life in general, I feel like things are never fully done, right? It's always kind of a work in progress. You know, I've set up several different short-term rentals, vacation rentals, and even when I say, okay, it's done, it's finally set up, it's time to take photos, it's time to put the listing live. After that, you know, I'll run it for a little bit, but then there's like, okay, I need a plant in that corner. I think I need to add a lamp there. And like the more time I keep going back to that space and I keep living in it and I keep feeling it, the more things I'm going to tweak, shift, add, subtract until the space feels right. Except the space isn't even for me, right? That's kind of the tricky part. This space is for people to come rent and enjoy and have an experience. So I don't know what they want. And everyone's gonna want something different. But I mean, you know, just given the listing photos, they're choosing that place for a specific reason, right? They do like that kind of design aesthetic. So just always keep that in mind, is that your home is you, it's for you. So just work with what your body is feeling in it. Don't decorate it for anyone else. Don't think, oh, well, you know, what are my in-laws gonna think if they come over here and they see this large tapestry hanging on the wall, you know, or what? It's like, if you love it, put it up. Don't question yourself. It's for you. If you want my eyes on your rooms, on your dose, not a style. That's what the frequency reading is. You send me photos of your home and I send you back a personal video within 7 days. What your space is doing to your body, what's raising your frequency, or what's quietly draining it, and exactly what to do to shift it. It's $144 and it's by application. You send me your home, 12 become the founding circle, and nothing is owed unless I say yes. The link is below, and there's a new video next week. I'm Asha Zeltanil. This is Arizen Interiors. I'll see you in the next one.